Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
If you haven't seen our last episode, we have been traveling now in the camper van and we had a little bit of a problem with what we think is the balancing of the tires. So we had to try and get it fixed and we were stuck for a few days at a campsite. Because of New Year's Eve, everything was shut for a few days. So if you want to see that vlog, click this one up here now. Today is a Sunday, so all tire places in Sweden are closed, but we managed to find this place behind us, which is, he obviously has a shed at his house and he works there. So Josie called at 8:58 this morning and said, "Are you open?" And he goes, kind of. So he allowed us to come in and get it looked at. So as you can hear, he's behind us now, hopefully fixing the problem. We're hoping that is the issue, but we'll have to wait and see now.
Actually.
Oh, she is? Yep, she is. So hopefully that is the problem and we'll find out soon, I guess. Yeah.
I really hope it's the tires, because otherwise it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. See how we go.
Alright, so we've just drove out of the tire place, and on the front right wheel there was a weight missing and one weight that was loose, so it was like spinning around inside the tire. So they thought that that was the problem, because at the other place where we changed the tire, they put on the wrong kind of weight. So hopefully that is the problem. We're gonna head out on a highway.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we really hope that's the problem, because at one point there he started to talk about it might be the brakes, it might be the clutch, and that had us a bit worried, because that could be very expensive to fix since it's an old van and it's hard to get spare parts for it. But hopefully that was the problem. So she put on a new weights and the right kind of weights, so they shouldn't come off. We're going on to the freeway. Moment of truth.
Oh, come on, Franklin.
Let's go, Franklin.
Remember, it's over 75, 80 kilometers that it starts to shake really bad. 75. 80, I'm feeling a bit of shake. Still got the problem, guys. Do we go back and get the back looked at? Do you want to call him and tell him that we've still got the problem? Maybe the back's bad as well.
Maybe. I just called the tire place and she said that we can come back because it could be the back tires. So we're gonna go back and they're gonna have a look at it. So we've just driven out of our second appointment at the tire place. They checked the back tires as well, and it turned out they were missing 20 grams in one of them and 30 grams in the other one, and also the wrong kind of weights. So we thought that the problem was solved, but unfortunately it wasn't. The car is still shaking over 80.
We have decided we're not going to make it to Gävle. We are turning around and we're heading back towards Gothenburg and then head back to Helsingborg tomorrow. We'll get it looked at once we get back, and hopefully it's a reasonably easy fix.
And not too expensive.
This is also why we did do this trip, because we were planning to take a bigger trip and we wanted to give it a test run to see how everything went before we left the country and took it on a longer journey.
And I'm glad that we're still in Sweden and not somewhere else where they, maybe they don't speak English, or yeah, it could just be a bit more difficult to get it fixed somewhere else than here. We still had a nice time. Seen some places that we haven't seen. Will's seen a frozen lake for the first time, so that's exciting. I think we're gonna stop and eat now soon, because I'm getting really hungry.
My diet's not doing too well. It's meant to start on 1 January.
First thing he did on January 1st was to eat a kladdkaka for breakfast.
Chocolate lava cake, probably not the best start, but I forgot. I saw it sitting there, I was hungry. I ate it, and then Josie goes, "You're on a diet."
You can start when we get home.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So last night we made it as far as Mariestad. We've stopped here in a parking lot where we can put up the camper van. We've got electricity, we've got toilets and
showers.
It was so nice to have a hot shower. We hadn't had a hot shower since we left home
4
days ago. So
gross.
feeling nice and fresh now. But unfortunately the van just couldn't make it any further yesterday. The shaking got worse and worse, so we had to stop. I felt really uneasy driving it. We've stopped here in Mariestad, called a few mechanics, and we've got an appointment tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So.
And I just got off the phone with that mechanic and he said it sounds like it's the brake pads, because it gets worse the further we drive. It starts shaking at a lower speed. He says that's a typical sign that it's the brake pad. So he said that it might help to just grease it up, just so we can get home and change them at home. We're about 4.5 hours from
at
home
normal
now.
speed, and we're driving at 70 kilometers an hour.
So maybe like 5.5, 6 hours.
Yeah, at least I'd say. We hopefully can get it fixed tomorrow and be back on our way. I don't know too much about this place except for they make beer.
Yeah, they make one of Sweden's most popular beers. Alright, so we've just come out of the mechanics and they had a look at it, and it's been leaking grease from the drive shaft, and we're gonna have to get the drive shaft replaced, and some rubber that's supposed to hold the grease in place was held in place with a zip tie. So that's why it's been leaking grease, because it's not tight.
Hopefully the grease at least allows us to drive at a decent speed. We're about to get to 80 kilometers now, so we will see if it starts to shake or whether the grease is at least going to allow us to drive home in good time.
Yeah.
75 now, and I can already start to feel a bit of a shake.
I wouldn't say it's as bad as it was though.
No, it's definitely not as bad as it was, so still not even close to fixed.
We're a bit down right now.
It's a nice day though.
It's a beautiful day. Sun's out. It could definitely have been worse.
Like, it's not the engine. We don't need a full engine rebuild or anything, you know, touch wood. Everything apart from this has felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And everything within the cabin, the heating, the electricals, has all been fantastic. So maybe if we get this fixed, we'll give it another test run. We'll see how it goes before we leave Sweden, and hopefully Franklin will be in good shape.
Yeah.
So we have just stopped in this tiny little town, and it's really small, but we just wanted to get a falafel. The van's doing pretty well at the moment, so that's good. It still has a shake to it, but it's a lot better than it was, so we're able to drive at about 90 kilometers an hour, and we're making our way home. Happy days. Alrighty guys, we are back home now. It is 10:30 at night and we didn't film anything on the way back.
Because it's just dark and we were driving on the freeway pretty much the whole way.
There wasn't anything to see. Been a long day of driving. We will go get the van looked at over the next few days and we'll keep you updated. So if you want to see that,
hit the subscribe button.
And if you enjoyed this video,
please click like.
And we'll see you guys all again next week, hopefully with some better news.
Yeah, see you then. Bye.